The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are those of the participants, do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
Thursday morning, and welcome to a very special edition of Analyze This. We are on location on the Big Island. We're here at Cramer's Park. Of course, you know, this time of year during the Easter season, a lot of camping takes place throughout the island, in particular up here at Cramer's Park, a staple here on the Big Island of St. Croix. And I want to welcome you to On Location 2. Of course, you know, we did our first On Location at the Deli Deck in St. Thomas the morning after the State of the Territory, and we promised you that we would be moving this around. So we are on St. Croix today, and we're glad to be here. The first thing I want to do, I want to give a shout out to my WTJX family. Did an excellent job setting this whole thing up. You can see the sun beating down on me, and I'm loving it. I'm going to get a tan this morning, you know what I mean? So that's all good. I also want to give a shout out to viNGN, because they've allowed for this connectivity to be as smooth as it is, and we appreciate that communication. And most importantly, I definitely want to give a special shout out to the Department of Sports, Park and Recreation, because this is their baby, Cramer's Park. And as a result of that, you know, I told you yesterday that we reached out to the man himself, the Commissioner of Sports, Park and Recreation, the one and only Calvert White, from the island of St. Thomas, but he got roots on the Big Island as well. So Commissioner, good morning. Glad to have you here.
I don't tell people I'm from St. Thomas, so let's start that first of all. But if we're giving shout out, let me continue that and give the employees of the Department of Sports, Park and Recreation a shout out.
Most definitely.
If you look around at the grounds, I mean, pristine work that they have done to get this park together and ready for camping season. So I want to thank the employees for what they've been doing.
Without a doubt. You know what, let me shake your hand to make this official. Glad that you're there. We're live streaming this morning. I want to make that clear. Of course, you're hearing us on radio as you always do, but we're live streaming. So that's one of the reasons why we definitely got to give a special shout out to all the different agencies. Calvert going to be my co-host. We're going to have a great conversation. We got a lot of good people coming up to join us. I see my senatorial classmate cooling out there. He's a camper extraordinary, the one and only positive T.A. Nelson. So I want to give a shout out. What's up, my man? All is well? So we good. Now, let me ask this first question to you, Commissioner White. The interagency relationships that you have, because I asked you earlier, because Point Udall, the easternmost point in America, right, is right up there, right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. And I thought that was one of your babies, but you're telling me that's a public works joint. DPW. So we got public works as well. And then anything to do with the shoreline, DPNR. And then, of course, you got your facility. What's it like with this interagency love that y'all got to show to each other, because you need each other to make this thing work?
The synergy is lovely. You know, I depend on other agencies to make my job possible. As you stated, DPW, you know, because we're right around the corner, my guys already come up here to clean up and keep this park looking good. So we have an agreement with them where we assist them going to Point Udall to pick up the trash. But, you know, we talk about the shorelines. A lot of people don't realize anything in the water is DPW.
Yes.
I mean, DPNR.
DPNR, yeah.
When you go from the low tide water to 50 feet or the first sign of vegetation, it becomes then sports parks and recreation.
Okay, so we're learning again.
There's
so
a lot of people that
have... It's a 50 feet, it's a 50 feet deal?
50.
Okay, we're good with that. Talk about your employees. When we think of Cramer's Park, we think of lifeguard, right? Yeah. But there's so many other components to actually make this facility function at its apex.
So if you look at the makeup of the department, I think every division within the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation have some kind of function here at Cramer's Park. You talk about the lifeguards and the recreation staff. We put on swimming lessons every year for the people in the territory. So the recreation staff in there. When you talk about maintenance, obviously you have the restroom facilities that you know needs to be fixed from time to time. You have grounds that come out and make sure the grass is cut. So it's a complete department effort when we're talking about this facility to keep it running.
Now, let's show some love for St. John, because you know, Analyze This, got a soft spot for the Love City.
Yeah.
And one of the areas that you and I talk about every time you come out is that Winston Wells Ballpark and that whole area going down there. What going on in Cruz Bay right now as it relates to your agency?
Well, Winston Wells is still right now being habited by the Department of Education.
Okay.
Shortly after the 2017 storms, they needed a spot to put modulars for the students to have some place to learn. So there was an MOU, an agreement made there where we understood that we needed to give up the space. Thankfully, we was able to partner with the National Park, who had a facility that they manage, and they was able to turn that over to the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation so that we could still continue recreational facilities and sports in St. John. So it's worked out really good. The facility that's owned by the National Park is really, really good. We've been having a lot of activities there, kickball, softball tournaments. So it's worked out for us.
Now, time to fly fast, right? You've been the commissioner since early 2019, right? That was like decades ago, you know what I'm saying? But it's only 5 1/4, right? I had a conversation with the governor later that year in October, and he said if there's one agency that has a lot of projects that the people don't really know as it relates to volume, is sports, park, and recreation. So you and I were talking earlier. How many recovery projects were under your umbrella, so to speak, when you got in?
At last count, I think it was 52.
That's what? 52?
Yeah.
52 projects?
Yeah, 52 projects.
Sports, parks, and recreation projects?
Sports, parks, and recreation.
Wow.
You know, when you think of all the facilities territory-wide, we also oversee the beaches. So those are additional facilities.
So John Brewers, and so that's you?
John Brewers is UVI.
UVI, okay.
But Lindbergh,
okay, Lindbergh, it will be Lindbergh,
Vesup is also us. And then you have open spaces, which by law and VI code is under sports, parks, and recreation. So we have our work cut out for us. We're starting to see some of those projects come to fruition right now. We're starting to see some of the wins that we're getting since 2017. It's been a long time, so it feels good now when we have these ribbon cuttings and we can give the facilities back to the people.
Without a doubt, and I want the public to know, yes, the sun blaring is bad, you know what I'm saying, but we can handle it, you know, we raise up in these parts, so it's all good. You touched on the different beaches and all that. I asked this question, right? If in fact you could walk up to the governor and the governor said, look, I got resources. Tell me what you need. What are your priorities right now for your agency?
That's easy to answer. Number one off the bat is Vincent Mason Pool.
Down in the west.
Down in the west.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would think that my number one would be Parley Joseph Stadium because of how long we've been trying to get that facility up. But I do know that everybody don't play baseball. But everybody could use a Vincent Mason Pool.
Yeah, man.
It's very historic. It's significant to the people in Frederickstead, and I really want to get that facility back up. We had some great news. We just issued a contract to a contractor, GC, to get that facility done. But that is my number one project right now.
You mentioned Parley Joseph, which is a problem baby, and you inherited it.
I did.
Senator Nelson and I know about this from 2011 when this whole thing came up. And that facility, you know, when the project was unfurled, it wasn't just about baseball. It was about tennis, swimming, and volleyball as well. What if we do get to that end point? What are we getting down there at Parley Joseph Stadium?
Well, first let me put it on the record.
And a village as well. I think a Carnival Village was a part as well. Yeah.
Let me put it on the record that I am going to be the commissioner that cut the ribbon for Parley Joseph.
I like that. I like that confidence.
Saying that bold. But I could see the end of the tunnel. We're starting to see the end of the tunnel. The facility is starting to shape up. If you go there now, you could see that it is a baseball field. We just did a visit, I think 2 weeks ago, I went there with DPW.
Where the grandstand going to be in connectivity to Frederickstead shoreline? Because originally, when you're in the grandstand, you're looking out to see water. Now it's supposed to be a little different.
It is turned the opposite way now, so your back will be to the shoreline.
To the shoreline, okay.
And the reason for that is you kind of tend to favor the hitter in baseball.
Yeah.
So, you know, most games are played in the afternoon time, so you want the sun to the back of the batter and the sun in the eyes of the field.
But you know the hitter them going to ball too, no? Because the prevailing wind is east to west, so and now they're going to be hitting the ball into the wind.
I don't know how many home runs ones you're going to see in that stadium. But the field is turned the correct way historically, as you see baseball fields turn. But to answer your previous question, not only the big field is being built, we're also getting the Terrence Martin Little League field.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Adjacent
to
right
it.
there. Yeah.
And then we're still in conversations about how we're going to do the Festival Village, but we are going to include the Festival Village in this project.
Good. Quickly, you know, you're there, and I'm going to take full advantage of this. Emile Griffith, another big facility in the heart of Charlotte Amalie. What's the deal with Emile Griffith?
So that would be my #1 facility on the island of St. Thomas.
Okay, there we go.
Contractor on site now, work has been going on. We've had some issues with that facility. The bleachers was built, almost completed, and then we had to tear them down and start over again. But you're starting to see the fence go up around the perimeter right now. The scoreboard is probably going to go up in the next couple of weeks. We've already finished the restroom facility, brand new facility, extended it and opened it a little more, ADA restrooms. And then what we did that was really important is we constructed an office on top of the concession. So now the staff, where they used to be in the outfield, is going to be kind of in the heart of that facility to see what's going on around.
Okay, good. Now, I think we had a passing of a great Virgin Islander, Alvin McBean, right?
That's correct.
Recently.
That's correct.
And there is a facility named in his honor out in the Tutu area.
Yes.
What's the deal out there with Alvin McBean? First of all, I want to send out condolences to the family. Great Virgin Islander. I think it was a picture and all that stuff. And I met him one time. Me and Lolo were hanging out there in Iraq, and I met him over at Casula, and yo, that was a cool dude, man.
You know, I've known Mr. McBean since I was small, and it wasn't until his passing that I learned the story of how he became a major league player. I think.
Please share it, because that's what we're into here on NPR.
There was some scouts here, and they did a clinic, and he actually went there as a photographer.
You can do okay.
You know, he went there as a photographer, and a couple of his friends kind of encouraged him to go and try out, and that's how he got his start in the majors.
Wow, and he was a great pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates
and all that. So the facility out there. You know, I got a story to tell. Johnny Clements, you know, Rashidi father, he had a basketball team named Young Roots. And I was a big fan of the team, big fan of his. He took me over there, and the very first game that Young Roots played, because back then we had the 13 to 16 inter-neighborhood league, and that was a youth commission baby, and Young Roots was St. Croix champs. We played against a team named Valley Warriors. Foreman, Baja, that whole group, whole Mahali, and we played out there in the country, man, and yo, that facility, I don't think people realize. I'd like to get a drone shot at that facility, because it's literally there inside of a neighborhood that kind of valley-ish as well.
You know, ironically, that's where Calvert White got his start as a basketball player.
That's what I talking about. Yeah.
True, and I tell this story all the time, and people ask why I'm so passionate about working for Sports Parks and Recreation. I think Sports Parks and Recreation is kind of what gave me my start. You know, I played in the recreation basketball leagues. That's how Mr. Estrell found me, and then
the great Pedrito Estrell.
That's correct.
Pedrito Estrell out at Sugar Estate, and coach at Charlotte Amalie High School basketball for years.
Saw me playing at Alvin McBean and asked me to come try out for the school team, and the rest was history. That's how I ended up going to school to play basketball. But Mr. McBean, you know, is a staple in the community. When he actually came back and retired from baseball, he was an employee of the Department of Sports Parks and
that's only right. You think that's right? That's a natural transition there. By the way, the first time I saw Calvert White was in 1993. I believe that's your senior year.
That's my senior year.
Right? There was a basketball tournament at Central High School, and I believe St. Dunstan's upset Ohio. Very rare that a private school would beat a public school. Controversial ending, you know what I'm saying? I never forget that one guy. I remember Pedrito going off. But one thing I saw with you, Timmy Duncan was in that game, and I was like, but this dude is about 6'3", 6'4". I thought you 6'4", 6'5"? 6'4", and he gave Timmy the walk, man. I was like, what guy now? Yeah, but you had some skills, man.
I actually enjoyed playing against Timmy. Of course, Timmy that we know today wasn't Timmy when he was in high school. Correct. As a matter of fact, Timmy wasn't even the top rank player. There was a player named Tyrone Allen
in the Virgin Islands, who
was a beast.
But Timmy always had a much larger upside.
He did. And I've been living that upset for the last 35 years.
31 to be exact.
Judge Malloy, don't let me forget it.
Gabby Malloy, that's right.
He played on that team.
He was on the St. Dunstan's team, man.
As a matter of fact, he hit the shot
to win the game.
So, you know, that's a good friend of mine. I've known Robbie since high school, and we're still good friends. But that's what the sport was about. You know, although I was from St. Thomas and he was from St. Croix, the game of basketball is what brought us together.
Let me ask this. The relationship with Sports Park and Recreation over the years, they've always had something to do with interscholastic sports that still exists?
Yeah, well, if you look at the facilities that we use, a lot of our games are played, or they used to be played on outdoor courts.
Yeah.
They're playing indoor now, but the outdoor courts are owned by the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation. So although we're not over IAA, we are still involved, whether we're helping with officiating, jerseys, trophies, you name it. Once it's sports in the Virgin Islands, we're going to try to be a part of it.
And I just want to let the public know once again, we are on location. Cramer's Park is the joint this morning, and I can't, thank the WTJX family enough. I see my partner from viNGN there as well. Get up early to come to the east, and we live streaming like you said, so live streaming on the radio, all that good stuff. And we want to thank all of you, the audience, for supporting Analyze This and the WTJX family. You mentioned the Vincent Mason Pool down in the west, right? But we also got some facilities in the middle of the island. Pay Cruise, that's in Estate Profit, right? Anything special going on there, or just the normal work to take it to the next level?
So a lot of people, people probably know now, we had some issues with the lighting at Scion Farm Ball Field.
That's a Rudy Cricket Ball Park.
And we was able to move Little League to Pedro Cruz temporarily for them to play games because there was a new facility, new fencing, brand new scoreboard. So again, it's really important for me to get these facilities out, because once the facilities are up and running, we know that the children are going to use it. And currently, we didn't have any facilities down on the western end of the island. So that's why now the WIM, Randall Jackson Ball Field, we're trying to get that up because we want to get baseball and Little League going again back in the western end of the island.
And you're also responsible for Isaac Boynes.
That's correct.
In Grove. The Princess Project.
I see my Grovian brother, he's on location. Mr. Williams.
Yeah, Rima Williams, the lottery director as well. Also, the Princess Basketball Court, that's you as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Wenhole Rookie Jackson, the Gravy Henderson facility down there, the basketball court, the Frederickstead, Midre Cummins, that's you as well.
Correct.
Ms. Cummins, so you really got a lot of facilities that you're responsible for, Commissioner.
We do, and again, we're starting to see wins. I drove the Frederickstead waterfront last night, and oh my God, that was the first time I've seen it since we have their newly installed lights down on the waterfront. Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was an important project for us. We had some incidents down there where it was really, really dark, and the department has been getting a lot of calls from the community, thanking us for just getting that place back illuminated.
On the way up this morning, I saw a lot of cyclists. So when we come back in the next segment, I want to incorporate that as part of that, because this thing look like it's growing. The amount of cyclists I see on a Thursday morning, it was normally it's a weekend thing. Sunday, but this morning I see Blada, Raymond Cornelius. I want to give a shout out to him as well. So, gotten off to a great start this morning. Of course, we don't call it Holy Thursday in these parts. I'm going to say Monday, Thursday, but it's a long weekend. We go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it's all good. So we'll take a break. You hear the cock crowing in the background to let me know what time it is.
One thing in the ordinary, we get holidays, Mr.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So we'll be back right after this. So, Senator White.
Senator.
Excuse me, Commissioner. By the way, I want to say this publicly. I know that you had a loss in the family. Your aunt.
Well, actually two.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I had two in a span of a week. Last week, my grandmother, which is my mother's mother, passed.
Ah, man, sorry to hear that, man.
And then your aunt. A couple of days after, my aunt, which is my father's sister, the eldest of the clan.
Yeah, and she's in New York.
Yeah, she's in New York.
So last week, right, for those of you who don't know, we were talking about your Uncle Clement, the professor. So I called him later that day because we were talking. He and Miss Elaine Jacobs, one of his students from Mount St. John. When I called him to tell him, hey, Professor, we were talking about you this morning. Yeah. He said, man, I don't get a text message already at 9:45, man. Okay. Somebody don't tell me already that you were talking about me. So I said, wow, the show really,
They'll be
big,
listening.
big like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we're here on location, Cramer's Park, where we used to come a lot when we were small. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just coming to Cramer's Park. It was the drive that was a part of this deal, and it's really beautiful. By the way, I want to give the Department of Public Works royal props, because when we came up here on Monday, right, to do, you know, our pre-production and all that stuff, on that road back, that drive back to Christiansted, that road smooth, a long smooth way. Maybe until you get like, maybe by Buccaneer Estate, Bucksburg, the Tide Village area, it'll start to get a little wrinkly as well, but son, that was the most beautiful drive I had in a long time. So I definitely want to give Commissioner Derek Gabriel, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Derek Gabriel.
And Jomo McLean, right? And Carol McGregor, that whole group there. And of course, my brother Datsun, you got to get
Tawana, that's my girl. Tawana is my girl.
Tawana, that's what I'm saying. So we want to definitely give them. So like I said, the location is Cramer's Park. I'm looking forward to bringing in a viNGN big shot, one of my childhood partner. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let him, and actually, I want him to actually talk about all of the work that they do to make event like this. Because this is an event possible, because there's so much connectivity that's necessary, and we are not in what you would call a heavily populated area where there's a lot of infrastructure. So there's a lot of work they got to do. We came up here, the viNGN employees were here doing all the drops. I think that's the term that they'll use, the drops. And they had me to know. So when I went back, I said, well, you know, we got a cell phone service up here. And I said, don't worry about that. We're going to take care of that. So we appreciate that as well. We're going to do our thing. And we're back here on the live stream, up on location, OL2.
OL2, that's a tagline.
Yeah, because OL1 happened on St. Thomas, and we're hoping that OL3 will happen on Love City. But, you know, events happen and all that good stuff. Now, first of all, Commissioner Calvert White, thank you for being my co-host. I really appreciate it.
I got the call. My agent called me. He said, we need you to come up for a 10-day contract.
Yeah.
I just said, where the paperwork? Let me sign it.
And you know, he had a big political issue where the Democratic Party went and hired this lady, Ronna McDaniel, right? She's a hard coach. She was actually the RNC chair. $600,000. And they had to cut off the contract in 3 days. So they say she make $50,000 a minute.
Who is her agent?
Who is her agent?
I need to speak to the head. I need to redo my contract.
$600,000 in 3 to 4 days. Church out, and she got and she said she want all. So it's gonna be interesting how that works. Now we're gonna bring in the agency that makes connectivity happen for events like this, viNGN. Young man, introduce yourself to the audience and welcome to Analyze This.
Good morning to the listening audience. Good morning to everyone here from Analyze This and also Parks and Rec. It's just so wonderful to be here, to be a part of...
Tell the public your name and put that mic a little higher.
My name is Keithly Heath.
Yeah.
And again, from outside plant manager for viNGN. And to be a part of what's going on here with Analyze This. When we heard that Analyze This was going to be here, because I listen to Analyze This as much as I can.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, every single morning I'm on the way in or whatever, I'm listening. And I think it was Monday when I heard that you guys were going to be here. I was like, we got to do this. We got to do this.
So I appreciate that. So let me ask the general question. And for those of you who don't know, his moms and my moms go way, way back. You know what I'm saying? So what make that clear? Keithly, how viNGN doing?
We are doing well.
Okay.
We are doing well. You know, there are other ISPs that are doing what they do, but yeah, for viNGN, I mean, they don't come close.
Now, you mentioned ISP, which is Internet Service Provider, right? Talk about the middle mile, because that's what viNGN is all about. One of the things about NPR that people love is continuous education. We really into the rah-rah thing. Even though the rah-rah is a bit sweet sometimes. We into education. Explain that middle mile component as it relates to connectivity, internet service, what have you.
Well, viNGN was really built that to provide the middle mile for ISPs to connect to what we have. I'm talking not only about viNGN, but you and I. You know, what viNGN has here also belongs to you, me, and everyone in the territory. So once we begin to understand what we really have, what we do need to hold on to, and then any ISP who comes into the territory who wants to connect, to deliver services to the community, they connect to viNGN. I mean, that's big.
Now explain in lay people language, right, how the connectivity will work. If Calvert White, they're home, right, and he they are his desktop, right? What viNGN doing to make connectivity for Calvert White happen?
With viNGN being a middle miler, we will run the cabling to as close as possible to where an ISP can connect to our equipment.
And that's the last mile.
That's
right?
the last mile.
Right. What's the first mile?
The first mile is coming across the, from level 3,
Yeah,
so on and so forth. That brings the signal across the water from around the world, and then the middle miler viNGN picks that signal up, put it through our system, and get it close enough to the end mile to where the ISP can deliver that end mile service to the home.
And that end mile is who a Calvert White might have a relationship, a business relationship with. That's the entity that gets it from their box to his home.
That's correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned level 3, right? Actually, that was originally Global Crossing, right?
Yes.
And then it went to level 3,
Yeah.
and then it went to Century Links, and I believe now it's Lumen Technology.
That's
right?
correct. That's
right.
correct.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
One of our biggest peeves that I know Calvert White know about this is we got this big pipe, this level 3 pipe that are running right on the northwest corner of St. Croix out here, and we are not maximizing it. We're doing a little thing. You're doing something with it, but. Is there any hope for even greater use and connectivity based on what you've seen as a connectivity professional for that pipe? Because they got bandwidth 7 times the capacity of Silicon Valley.
That's correct. Well, with what viNGN has, we are just happy to be able to provide even more, actually upgrading our system to provide even more for the ISPs that are here. So if viNGN will be the link, to the community, to the ISPs here to continue to provide that service to that level 3 area to deliver here in the community, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Calvert, any questions you want to ask from a sports park and recreation agency perspective to viNGN?
Well, first of all, if I didn't know better, I would have think you work for viNGN because you speak that lingo. But I personally want to thank viNGN because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the times when we're having games at our facilities, whether it's the baseball games, basketball games, not everybody can make it to the facility. And very early on, viNGN stepped in and was able to give us internet access at the facilities where now we can live stream those games to go back to the people's homes so that now they can still be a part of those games, although they did carry. So I want, on behalf of the department, I want to personally thank you guys for being a part and joining us and helping out the community. Not only that, I have a little inside because my older brother, my big brother, which is Celestino Jr., works for viNGN.
Oh, this is a small world, man.
So when the link go down, I have a person call who I could call to get him.
I like that guy.
Actually, Celestino White Jr. is my counterpart.
That's what I'm talking
so
about.
we communicating.
I didn't know that.
We're communicating with each other all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
how's Director Adams doing? Because that's my boy. He from actually the left coast. He out there in Northern California. Last time I saw him, we were heading over to St. Thomas for a taste of 2 islands. You know, we knocked that out in December. Normally that's a November deal, and I believe we're going back to that later this year. But how the director doing, man?
Mr. Adams is doing good. When he first came on board, like one of the first days he said to us, I want to take this place to Africa. We want to be able to connect to Africa. We want to be able to connect to Totola. And we sat in the meeting and we kind of like, okay, okay, we'll see how we'll make this happen.
Ambitious.
Yeah. And today, I think our representative,
Congressman Stacey Plaskett, she's working on that triangulation.
She just
got it passed, right?
Got the bill passed for us to have a connectivity from Africa through the Virgin Islands, through St. Croix
onto the mainland.
Yes, for viNGN.
So wait, St. Croix gonna literally be a middle mile?
Man, hey, listen, that's big.
Of course it is.
That's big.
Yeah.
I remember telling Mr. Adams, listen, looking at us here in these islands, I used to work in the refinery, and that refinery was a world-class refinery.
Yes.
And right now, I want the people of the territory to know and understand, viNGN is world-class.
Oh, gosh.
We are a world-class operation. Small group, tight group.
Yeah.
But with what we do, what we deliver,
I like that confidence.
I'll give you a perfect example of that. I'm getting ready to head up here to Cramer's Park, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I hear positive voice to the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that gotta be something that's pre-recorded, because I know in the past, once you get to Cramer's Park, your cell phone dead.
Shut down, yeah.
And I'm watching it, and when I realize he's on a live from
Feed.
Cramer's live,
The
he's
live
doing a
feed.
live on his phone from Cramer's
Wow.
Park. So he was able to speak to the community this morning from his tent and give him some positive word this morning. So again, thank you guys for what you're doing, just bringing the community together.
Talk about that, about the how we have evolved, because I know folks are really big on talking about the negative things, but one thing we try to do and analyze this is talk about how we could take the next step, and that's part of our evolution, right?
Yeah, you know, the viNGN, we were out here at a family outing. We all came here to the beach one time. There was no connectivity, no place out here. I think out on the East End Road, and which is out at the entrance to come in, was where we had a cable that crossed and went down the South Shore, but there was no cabling, nothing in here to bring this kind of a signal up in this area. And so this was back in 2017. We were up here with the Fun Day.
Pre-hurricanes.
Yes, yeah, pre-hurricane.
Okay.
And so we said Daryl, who was our CIO, and everyone, we were hanging out in the water, and we saying, this is a place that has no connectivity. No phone connectivity. You got to get to a special spot or something out here, and you would have stand a chance getting connected at that time. So, the kind of company we are, that he was like, this will be a nice place to have connectivity. And I say, yes, it would be good, because you know why? If an emergency takes place out here, you have to go, someone have to drive in to at least make that that initial phone call.
Yeah.
And so, we kicked it around our head, we left to make it happen one time. Now, in 2000, the storm came by.
Yeah.
And
Because I was going to ask you to go chronologically.
Yeah.
So you had that event pre-storm.
Yes.
Storm hits.
Storm hits.
How long that set are you back? Because I think the pipe got a little damage, right?
Our pipe get damaged because someone cut.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't storm related.
No, we were up and running.
That was vandalism.
That's correct.
Okay.
And the biggest thing that I got out of that was even when St. Thomas went into the dock.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean.
You can remember that? I got slammed first with Irma.
Yes,
right?
they got. And we were still up. We were still up and running.
Yeah. St. Croix didn't get touched up as heavy, but then Maria.
But then Maria came, we were St. Croix, St. Thomas, we were still communicating. But then when they went and cut our cables, that's when St. Thomas went into darkness.
Wow.
And what a feeling that was.
Yeah.
That St. Thomas no one from St. Thomas couldn't see out. We were down. And within 4 hours, we assessed, we got the damage taken care of, and St. Thomas was back online.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got that going. But what happened here is that after the storm, then NRAO, the satellite dish, they were having trouble because Vire and everyone else, everything slowed down.
Oh, that's a monstrous dish.
That's correct.
That's a monstrous piece of infrastructure
But
across
what
the
that
street.
does, yeah. So they wanted to get connectivity through viNGN, and that's when we built our cable that came in to support the NRAO dish.
Wow.
I think one of the things that we're also missing is that for the people that traverse and come to the beach, in the main line, a lot of the time when you go to these type of facilities, you have to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
For the people that come here, it is free.
They get that gratis, man. They get that free up here, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about.
So after the cable was built to NRAO, I was like, hey, we need to do Cramer's Park. We are that close. We need to bring a cable in here. So in what it was in 18 or 19 Easter. That's when camping was
camping
much more tense than
that's a
it
part
is
of our
right
history.
now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we decided, hey, listen, we need to build some Wi-Fi, to support the campers up at Cramer's Park. So thanks to Parks and Rec at that time, we requested to be able to deploy.
Pull the mic a little closer there.
Yeah, to be able to deploy some Wi-Fi, and we were successful in that year.
Yeah. What's the next step for Cramer's Park? Is there anything else that needs to be done here, or we're fully complemented up here?
Actually, when we did this drop, which was over the weekend, earlier parts of this week, when we did this drop for what's going on here now, we did add a few more access points.
So they're staying.
Oh yeah. Oh, they stayed. These, Cramer's Park had access
For real.
from.
So I want to make sure that the public understand this. Because WTJX analyze this to Cramer's Park. Cramer's Park is more infrastructure now as a result.
That's correct.
And going forward, it just a sweet bread for today.
No,
it's good to go forward.
This is since 2022 that Cramer's Park's been fully Wi-Fi.
I hope you know this being recorded.
Yes.
I hope you know this being recorded.
Yeah, we are on live stream, and we want to let the public know that you're welcome. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's only now you're seeing the
you.
signs. It's only now you're seeing the signs that we posted for free Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But, we do come out here and I see people time to time and I say, listen, you got free Wi-Fi out here. And they do take advantage of
Calvert White, is there something?
Well, because they have been so gracious of bringing the Wi-Fi here, we now are going to be installing what we call some solar workstations.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
We realized after the storm, a lot of people started coming to our facilities because our facilities was the only facilities that had Wi-Fi at that time.
Okay.
So you would see people on the computer sitting down trying to get, talk to people back in the main line and whatnot. So in speaking with the governor, we decided that we wanted to buy some solar workstations where you can actually, they're basically benches that have the solar panels on top. You could plug in your cell phone, your laptop, your PC, and those stations can connect to the Wi-Fi where we have access. So we're going to be installing those around the territory in all of our facilities.
Did you have any idea the amount of infrastructure work that you were going to do prior to taking this gig?
I did not. I'll be honest with you. When people think of sports parks and recreation, you think of the sports aspect of
exactly.
the recreation,
I'm hearing
the
you now,
the games.
and there's so many other variables that come with running an agency.
A large part of what I do from 8 to 5 and beyond that is not even the recreation. I mean, my staff do a great job of dealing with that. My days are spent dealing with the FEMA projects, getting our facilities back up, having partnerships with the nonprofits and the businesses. So we do a great job of reaching out to these businesses to see how we can partner with them, just to make the experience better at our facilities.
Good. Mr. Heath, I want to thank you.
Yes,
for making this time. You come up, we come up the road early this morning. I want you to give a shout out again to your viNGN family to let them know that we are appreciative of what we're doing as we continue to take the next steps.
And myself and the viNGN team, we want to thank Analyze This for having us out here to at least let the community know.
And let Boss Adams know that I say hail up, and I'm looking forward to talking with him in the future and getting him on as well, so we could talk about that big project, that triangulation there with the mainland and St. Croix serving as a conduit for folks on the mainland to actually communicate with the motherland. You know what I'm saying? This is Africa that we're talking about, you know what I'm saying? So we got to feel good about that. Keithly Heath is joining us this morning. We're going to actually bring in, I see the Senate President has worked his way up here, so we appreciate that. We also got the Lottery Director, Lottery Office Director up here as well. Great setting. And additionally, I just wanted to say, even though the sun be turned down, I'm glad that we've had some significant rain, because a year ago, I remember in your very first year as Assistant Commissioner, we were parching. It was brown, but up here is green. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Thank you, Mr. Heath, for joining us.
Thank you.
Good. And Calvert, as you were mentioning, as I asked you earlier, you're talking about all these facilities, and when I was thinking about sports park and recreation, we're thinking basketball courts, tennis courts, all that stuff. But
there's a lot more that goes into it.
The commissioner gig is a true administrator gig.
I walk in. I walk in.
You order your key. And what about the other sports that don't get a kind of profile, like the sports that we know? Talk a little bit about what you're doing there. Like, I know Miss Carter, Highfield Carter, had reached out to you about lacrosse, right, which is growing as well. Pickleball, all that stuff. Talk a little bit about how you do what you're doing.
We have a unique opportunity to build our sports tourism product. What we have over all the other Caribbean islands is you don't need a passport to come here.
That's right.
A lot of these event planners are looking for places to go and don't want to deal with the hassle of having to get visas and the documents and all of that. So we have a one-up on a lot of the different islands. But to do so, we have to have the infrastructure and the facilities to do so. So that's why it's so important to get these facilities up, because once they get up, we can now go after some of these traveling teams and these events, the lacrosse, the flag football.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, we're in the process of trying to get a cricket field built on St. Thomas. The Cricket Association is traveling to St. Lucia, actually today, to play in a friendly match.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this weekend.
Ah, man, that's awesome.
So it don't matter what the sport is, whether I play it or know it, I want to get all of our sports and our facilities upgraded so that we can get our sports tourism product, you know, bigger than it is right now.
With this type of weather, because of course, you know, on the mainland, they got some parts of the mainland, 30, 40, 50
Correct.
degrees. Our deal is 70 to 90 this time of year, and then in some instances, it'll get up there at the 3-digit. We really need to take advantage of this natural resource that we have at our disposal.
Yeah, so you see a lot of the spring training and a lot of the baseball teams going down to Florida during the winter season. What better place to take those teams other than the U.S. Virgin Islands, Paulie Joseph Stadium? The backdrop of that stadium is going to be so beautiful. Once completed, that's going to be one of the best facilities in the Caribbean. So I'm looking forward to that. But you're absolutely correct. It's now our time to take advantage of that opportunity.
Now, we talk a lot about Paulie Joseph. DC Cannigator, working on as well?
Yeah. DC Cannigator, the softball field is getting worked on now. I saw that the dugouts was taken down. Some new fencing is going up. We are putting up new LED lights, not just at that facility, but all of sports parks and recreation facilities. I'm trying to get up with the time.
Yeah, man.
And that's why it's so important to form these relationships with these businesses, because a lot of the time we don't have the resources. We don't have the funding. So, you know, that's why I thank viNGN so much, because of the things that they bring to this community.
And we are back now live on Analyze This. And like I said, this is OL2. We're on location here at Cramer's Park on the eastern end of the Big Island on St. Croix. My co-host today, Commissioner Calvert White. I keep calling Senator because, you know, he's 6'1".
Half a dozen?
Half a dozen of the other, you know what I'm saying? And it's all good. So, the real reason why we're up in these parts, Commish, is because camping, right?
Yeah.
And it's K-Y-M, not camp. Camping.
That's how you spell it?
Camping,
Well,
taking
don't
place.
see nobody tell me nothing. I spell it wrong. Am I sure?
Spell it the right way. Right way. We gonna do, but how we enunciate it? Camping, taking place up here, right? That's how you right? Up on St. Croix, up here, and St. Croix. And we are joined by somebody who living up here right about now. Put a microphone to your face, beautiful young lady. Good morning.
Good morning.
Introduce yourself. How are you?
Fine. My name is Wanda Brooks.
Tell us about the experience and the anticipation of actually spending time the Easter season up here at Cramer's Park. And how long you been doing it?
Well, I started back in the 90s. Is my husband,
Wow.
Edwin Brooks. He's the one that introduced me to camping. And from since then, I just like keep with the trade. And then we keep adding on family, and we're asking family to come out. And every year we just getting bigger and bigger.
Well, I just want to thank you for making some time to come sit down here and rap with the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We appreciate that. And you got it holding the mic good, so you're good. So don't feel nervous. You're good. Everything good. We live streaming. What's your first name again?
Wanda.
Wanda Brooks, right? Wanda Brooks? Okay, good. Now, let's talk about the anticipation. When you don't start to mentally gear up to look forward to coming to Cramer's Park for that camping. What part of the year? January, February? Or
December. Yeah, because what we do, we have a family. We ask everyone who wants to join us, and what we do, we keep like a meeting, and then we set up like our agenda, like what we're gonna do, what we're gonna cook, and who's gonna bring what, and then we don't have to wait till like the middle of like February to find out like what's the fee, and then whoever family join in, we split the fee between everybody equally, and everybody does. I make up a shopping list, and everybody just decide who's gonna bring what and stuff like that to make this camping a very experienced and perfect camping.
Wait, Miss Brooks.
Yeah, go right ahead, man.
So you guys had a family meeting for camping?
I even have my folder over there.
We had to take it for you because it was so big.
Yes,
It
but
had
to
so
show
much
you how we got our setup and everything.
They bring it back for you. Yeah, so
Yes.
just wave it and show them. Let them know that you got your documentation
Yes.
and all that
We're
good
very
stuff.
organized.
There we go. So
we
we
go.
want to make sure the camera got a nice shot of that.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. Now, you mentioned December. You can rest that down, right? You mentioned December. We got the Crucian Christmas Fiesta taking place late December into January. We got a fair in February, and you there, even before them two events, you done in planning mode for Easter up at Cramer's Park?
Yes.
Wow.
Because we want to make sure everybody is set and ready and everybody's notified that, hey, camping is coming up and be prepared.
No. How big is the entourage? Because I know people it might start at a certain number when the week starts, but by the time weekend come, it's probably a little bigger, right?
Yes, because right now we have like 12 tents right now.
Excuse me?
12.
1, 2, that's one more than 11, one less than 13, 12?
Yes. And there's still more coming.
What?
They haven't come yet, so we having family from afar that will be joining us. They're flying in today.
That's what I was just going to ask you. So we got folks coming from the mainland or and other parts of the Caribbean coming to be here with you?
Yes.
Wow.
What was the total number of family members that you have here?
Well, right now,
That's a ballpark estimate.
well, right now we have 6 families. Right now.
So all together,
What
how
number?
many people total?
Yeah.
Oh, we got like maybe like 30.
Wow. That's awesome. You must feel good knowing that they feel comfortable at a facility that's under your purview.
Yeah,
Well-
so you know, Ms. Brooks said December, but I get calls way before that, especially since we were getting the facility ready to open back up where we're going to have camping again this year. So as you can imagine, the pressure was on.
something, talk about that. So we were down, it was not accessible for the public, or you were doing work up here?
It wasn't because once the contractor started, and I got to give a big shout out to DVD Construction because that's the contractor that was awarded this contract. But since the storms, I know people was disappointed every year because, you know, the facility was down, the cabanas was down. The facility just didn't feel safe to have people here with all the debris and whatnot. So when we announced that we was going to have the ribbon cutting, the calls them started automatically because everybody was trying to get a spot to come back up here. But what I want to ask Ms. Brooks is, as a person who has never camped, give me an idea of what your shopping list is as far as what are the things that you need. Obviously you need a tent, but what are some of the things that I would need if I wanted to come down here and camp? And I know everybody's different with what it is. I see TV, I see a TV in somebody's tent.
What TV?
I see a TV, and shout out to viNGN again because with the internet, if you got a smart TV, you could watch TV down here.
Well. So everything good. So talk about the needs, priority items that you need to make this thing work, Ms. Brooks.
Well, in order you need the personnel. You got to make sure you got the food.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
You got to eat. A lot of water.
And the cooks.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have a camp without the cooks.
That's what I'm talking
And basically, you know, we walk with like first aid kits. You know, we have all those emergency kits. You know, we have kids. We let everybody know, make sure they walk with their life jackets. You walk with your blankets, you know.
They still got a big the Sunday night event. They still got a lot of the band that come up here, or that kind of.
I really don't know until that day comes. Because right now it's like a little empty, but we don't know until that day.
No, in the past it'll be quiet like this during the week, and then when weekend come, it'll pick up and more people come.
Yes.
She say empty, you know.
Empty, but I'm surprised.
I tried to process how she said empty. So basically, you're saying what we dealing with now ain't nothing like what we're dealing with on the weekend.
Well, I'm surprised because usually everybody done come out and done set up, but looking around right now, and today's Thursday, and it's like it still look empty.
They come in.
Yeah, no, I'm going to put you in my chair now. The commissioner there right next to you. Tell the commissioner what you believe the department could provide to make the situation, to make the experience even better than what it is.
Well, for sure. Okay. Sorry.
No, we good. But you're coming up here. you're expecting. How long you stay for the whole week? For
the week.
For the week. From a need standpoint, what are you looking for? When you bust that gate with your tent them and thing, what are you expecting to see?
I was expecting to see more people, but basically, to answer that question for you, I really don't know because we work with everything we need. So you're
saying that you really need nothing from them?
Yeah.
Just the internet, if we could get some more internet service.
No,
yeah.
What we get now?
Yeah, but what I mean to say, like when people start to come, it's going to be overflowing, so everybody's going to have a lane.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. From
Yes.
what I was told, how they upgraded the bandwidth or whatever,
And capacity.
Okay.
it's really fast right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
well,
should
in
be
the
okay.
okay,
So,
well,
so you're saying in the past? that
yeah,
has been an
because I
issue.
know this was up like what 2-3 years when they gave us the internet, and when the park was really packed.
Yeah.
It was hard for everybody to get. It was running kind of slow, delayed, and stuff like that.
Not up here. So, Ms. Brooks, because we're an NPR station, she want to use the proper terminology. She said pack, right? But the term that we use, Commish and Ms. Brooks, is cock and ram.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You keep using that nice terminology, right? What happened when it rained? I run inside the tent and just want the rain to go as quick as possible.
Yes, we do.
But the blessing will be nice though.
I know, but it usually, I hope it stay like this, because every time with our experience, it's like when it's always near time to go home, like it always rains on the Sunday when we're ready to pack up to go.
That's the Most High giving you something, a little blessing to go down the road with.
It's time to go home.
So interestingly enough, Ms. Brooks is saying that she wanted the internet. I was under the impression that when you go for camping, you kind of detaching yourself from all of those amenities.
Tell you that life change with that, don't you?
Well, you need to come up on our campsite to see how it is. Like you all say, you spell camping.
Breakfast ready?
Well, I'm down here, so we didn't get to prep.
You use the cook?
Me and my sister-in-law and our daughter. So you told me to be down
Bring
here for
somebody
8
else.
o'clock. So I was like, get up, get myself ready to come down here. So.
No, and I do want to say that Ms. Brooks has been patient. She's been there from when the show started, and she stood there. So I want to personally thank you for exuding patience and all that stuff, and you being an awesome guest right now.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
We got about 7 more minutes for this. So relax and say what you got to say. You don't have to rush on it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just telling when he wanted to say to improve, maybe we could get more bathroom facility.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a major thing, because like we're on the corner and the bathroom is like a far walk, and it's like, I don't know.
So you realize we put on some porta potties now?
Oh, where?
For some reason, everybody's walking past the porta potties and going all the way down to the back. There's 2 down here.
Yeah.
Oh, you all are.
There's 1 right there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know, because we don't reserve our own. So,
see?
like I said.
You need my bathroom.
But she looking out for the other people.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. So wait. When I come up here, I ain't want nothing for nobody.
No.
I good to go?
We good to go.
No, tell the public about the menu, because I see you pull out the menu there. So tell the public about the big pot and the big shindig that you're going to make available for people to eat and all that stuff.
Oh, well, every day we set a menu.
Oh, so you got a special menu for every day?
Yes.
Okay, and tomorrow, there's no meat tomorrow.
We know that. Everything is salt, fish, conch, and
shrimp and all that stuff.
No, tomorrow is the saltfish in stew, butter sauce.
Gondi? Any gondi tomorrow?
Oh, no, we don't have that.
That's the stew butter?
Maybe the guests, whoever comes along, could bring the dish.
That's why I talking about.
See, like we invite everybody and we tell everybody you could come along to our spot, and we just like bring what your heart desire and just come and enjoy and have fun with us. We're going to have dominoes, bingo. So we're prep ourselves for entertainment.
Wow.
I got task of management to see.
And my husband is a DJ, so he work with his set. And everybody know every year we out here, he always play music and everybody love it.
They moved their house to Cramer's Park?
Yeah, I going to have to find out what part of tent is.
Yeah, like he said, he spelled camping with
I spelled it wrong.
No, he spelled it right.
You spell it right, but he was saying a K. But in other words,
glamping.
Yeah, but for us, it's glamping.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Here we're on location up here at Cramer's Park, and we're actually talking to somebody who has taken up residence, and they take up residence here every year.
Yeah.
Planning starts back in December, and then it's a 3 to 4 month deal. Remember, no, Easter don't fall the same weekend every year. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep eye on that as well. For somebody who hasn't camped,
Like myself.
And myself, right? Tell them, Miss Brooks, what they're missing.
They're missing out a lot.
That's it. Go ahead.
They're missing out a lot
I
of
need a
just
little
like,
more convincing than that.
Break it down.
you know, from holiday you're working, you're the downtown. Like we don't call this like this is like a little island by itself. Even though we're in the same island, but we don't feel like it's away from downtown everything, you know. And it's like your house phone don't ring, you know. It's like if they could catch you up here with your cell phone, they catch you.
Yeah.
And it's very relaxing.
Okay.
And you come, you just enjoy the waves of the sea and family finally getting to sit down with each other and talk. As you know, when you're out there, it's like everybody's either busy on their phone or they got work to do. Or
so this is truly a stress-free environment up here.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me ask you a question. You've been up here, you said from the 90s.
No, not from the 90s. I come here like 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Okay, and other people been here. You don't go up. You ever been up to Point Udall while you're there? Take a walk up there.
Oh yes.
Oh, talk about that as well. Talk up there. Up there is a very special location. When the president come here,
He going there.
he going. That's the first place he go. No, he like to go up there.
Yeah.
And he don't even wait for New Year's Eve. I think the very first day that he got here, we shot pictures. He was up to Point Udall. He really that's a real important location, Ms. Brooks.
Yes, and I see that sometimes I see positive. When he's on here, he has his group that they go for their morning walk and they do the exercise and stuff like that, which is good. And I tell him every time I come, I want to join.
So along that line, you have about 6 tents, you said. Are there any interaction with the other tents and the other families? Are there any collaboration? You mentioned dominoes. Is there a domino war between the other tents and whatnot? Or you kind of just stay in your own little circle?
We stay in our own little circles, and time to time, like basically, I see we have new campers, but if everybody know us like positive, he know we're up here, so we like hi, bye. We got good neighbors, and
but everybody gotta look out for one another.
Yes.
Because you're there up here, right?
Yes.
And you're there in an abstract location. I
Yes.
think that's a right talk.
Ms. Brooks called positive name. He called me yesterday. He said, Commissioner, I got extra tent, you know. I said, we're going to try again for next year. We ain't going this year. Let me see what's going on first, and I need to assess what's going on first.
And then next year going to be, or maybe next year.
another year. But you need to come. If you get extra 10, just try for one night. At least out of the 4, just do one night, like we don't tell everybody.
He said, Commissioner, what you doing? I have an extra tent. I say, positive, let me just see what's going on first. Prepare myself, and then next year we could
because it's a mental thing as well.
It is a mental
Yes.
thing.
Just, you know, I want to thank the lovely Miss Wanda Brooks for joining us this morning. Good luck this weekend. Have fun. Right?
As usual.
And looking forward to seeing you next year when we come back up here again.
Sure, hopefully.
You got it. That's Wanda Brooks joining us.
Did you tell us what's on the menu for breakfast? Because when I was at the
Not for
drive
breakfast.
there.
Not
What
for
time it is
breakfast.
now?
Yeah, we kind of wrapping up this segment, but we could take a look at that during the break. We are live up here at Cramer's Park on the eastern end of St. Croix. Analyze this on location 2. We'll take another break and be back right after this.
But Shaniqua doing this like that, she was saying 3 minutes.
No, 3, 2, 1, countdown.
That's why I asked about the fact that we had 3 minutes to go.
No, but we got 3 minutes to the next segment. So Calvert,
Hey.
You just saw one of your tenants.
Yeah.
Up here. That's awesome. The way how comfortable they apparently feel up here as well. Public safety. We didn't mention that department. Commissioner Ray Martinez and his different chiefs all over the place.
VIP does an awesome job.
Talk about that.
And I'm in communication with him a lot. Just yesterday we speak because we have the St. Thomas Carnival coming up.
That's right.
But they are first line of defense. I mean, anything goes wrong, that you pick up the phone, you dial 911. But him and his staff is so. They're easy to go and talk to when you have any kind of issues and whatnot, and I don't expect anything less from Commissioner Martinez and his staff. So I enjoy working with those guys.
Now, you mentioned the carnival. The parking lot is you or that's DPNR?
Which parking lot?
Where the booth will be, where the village will be.
So the village is DPW, and it's interesting you mentioned that because I know people are watching this.
And then Fort Christian is who?
Fort Christian is DPNR.
Okay, and the parking lot is DPW.
Is DPW.
Yeah.
But this year, I had a conversation with Commissioner Martinez, and he said, Commissioner, every year We have hundreds of cars on the side of the road. Cars are getting towed and whatnot. What can your department do to assist us? So for the first time since my tenure, we are going to be opening up the Lionel Roberts Stadium to allow parking in there.
Wow.
And I want to tell the people that are watching.
Shuttle service down to the...
No, you got to walk down there. You got to take a little exercise. But the amount for the parking, it's not $30. It's only $15 per night.
Yeah, man.
Not much to ask for.
Yeah.
You know, some of the times that even myself...
And safety provided.
And safety, because we will have security there. VIPD will be on the outskirts, you know, making sure people are safe walking back and forth. But as a person who goes to the village, one of the heartaches is driving around 5 times trying to find a decent parking space. And then you end up parking somewhere illegal on the side of the road and have to worry if when you come back your car going to be there. So we are going to do our part and open up Lionel Roberts Stadium. Again, it will be paid parking, only $15, just to do our part and help out to ease all of those cars on the side of the road.
That's what I'm talking about. That's part of the evolution. That's what we're talking about, right? And we're good with it. Like I said, we're up here at Cramer's Park on location 2. First one was at the deli deck in the rack.
OL2.
That was OL1. That was the first go around. Now we did OL2 up here at Cramer's Park. We got another big shot coming in. And this is going to be a very historical conversation we're going to have here. And I know both of you are going to like it because, you know, I'm a history major, so I like to look at things from that perspective. Give a shout out to WTGX family. Also give a shout out to viNGN, Sports Park and Recreation, the Police Department, and all that good stuff. Welcome back to Analyze This. Here we are on location up at Cramer's Park. I want to thank Ms. Wanda Brooks, right? Great guest just now. And before that, we had Mr. Keithly Heath. Now another bigger has joined the conversation, and he and my co-host, my able-bodied co-host, Calvert White.
The Mecca. We from the Mecca.
The man from Grove coming for Doxas. He is, his name changed, you know. He's not the lottery director anymore. He's Mr. Sponsor. Because every event that going on, the lottery office, or that's what it is, the lottery office is an office, right? Or an agency.
It's an enterprise.
Pull that microphone a little closer.
It's an enterprise. Keep going. I'm loving it.
Mr. Director Raymond Williams, thank you for joining us on location here at Cramer's Park. Welcome to Analyze This, my brother.
Gentlemen, it is so awesome to be here. Nicholas.
I just going to talk about
Nicholas
that. Right?
and Nehemiah,
right?
in the house.
No,
along with a Grovian.
But I going to tell the public. I going to tell the public now about why this setting is so historically great. You are looking at 3 sons of senators sitting right here. Because for those of you who don't know, Mr. Raymond Williams, his father, Patrick Nehemiah Williams, was a senator back in the day. Of course, you know, Calvert White, his son of 6 or 1/2 dozen other. Maltese, he got about 10 nicknames. Celestino White Sr., and of course, yours truly, Dr. James Pickney. So I want to make this clear. First of all, Commissioner, welcome to Analyze This on location. A director, welcome to Analyze This on location. Not only that, thank you for all you have been doing in sponsoring. Every time I hear an event, Director Williams, VI Lottery. And I'm sure you're going to speak a little bit as to how that benefits the lottery going forward. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Welcome to Analyze This on location.
Let me tell you something, right? I listened to some of the conversations earlier, and I'm going to speak. I probably talk with a little list because I double root canal 2 days ago.
Don't worry about
forgive me.
You don't worry about that, man. We that location.
But more importantly, people that pay money to come for this, you see the background we got here?
Yes, sir.
We don't even enjoy this. Let me start there.
The brand you're talking about, the value at that there.
And this is where my cousin from Grove, love alone. We do, you know, it's amazing. But I got to thank Tanya first and foremost, my bestie.
Yeah, man.
Always.
The boss set.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody that's out here. I was telling Tanya earlier, for me to motivate my staff to do something like this, it got me by threat up here, you know. But the idea that you're doing this is awesome. But more to the conversation of your point, Nicholas, when you play the VI lottery, when we say the theme, when you play the VI lottery, everybody wins.
That's not just
You captured it.
yeah. That's not just words.
You captured it.
Yeah, man.
You captured it.
That is literally and figuratively
You
what happens. Right?
literally captured it.
I'm telling you, man. I seen it.
I have the best job in the world.
You have the second
Calvert
best.
does say the same
You
thing.
get a second best.
You know, the idea is that in a competition per se, but the fact that he love what he da do. He da make these things happen. I totally love what I do.
You know something? Let me ask this question. The cabinet good, man? When I sitting down and I rapping with the governor giving his directives and all that stuff, you got a synergy that the cabinet...
Jokes all day. Jokes all day, and you know he's a ringleader for that.
But and the joke about that is Big Tal and Little Tal, DPW and SPR. That's the combo. That's the combo.
I think as a cabinet, you know, we
because
depend...
people see the end results, but they don't know about the work.
Correct.
And all the communication that has to take place to get us to an on-location event or in this case, a historical deal where we're doing something live up here from Cramer
This is
Park.
awesome.
No, man,
I was telling Tanya earlier, I come from Grove. The only beach ain't my thing. Because the only time water to run in Grove is when it rains. You understand, right? So camping, no. I live in a house. I come up here, eat, drink, I got home. You sleeping on the beach. But at the end of the day, Calvert, I gotta big you up because you have really made. I mean, when I look around, I was like, wow.
What do you call it? Leaps and strides.
Yeah, man, amazing.
You know, a lot of
Amazing.
people, and I thank you for that, but people don't realize the work that the staff put in. You know, a lot of time when people say, you know, Commissioner, you're doing a great job, I like to tell them, and I'm humble about this, but I say, you know, Calvert White wasn't on a lawnmower cutting the grass.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the bathroom cleaning the bathroom.
That support staff
It was
there.
the men and the women that do
man.
that. So,
And,
you know,
and you're right. And
a
that's,
lot of the time I get the credit, but I know who is the backbone of this department, which is the men and the women.
But guess what? You get the credit. But guess what? When the blows there to take,
You gotta get it blame.
you gotta take the blows too.
Yeah, man. So that'll happen. Commissioner, talk about the lottery the department. How are you doing? We got big drawing coming up soon.
The drawing 25 April.
Yeah, April 25th. Yeah.
Yes, it's $500,000.
Wow.
So you're talking about a life-changing experience gonna happen for a Virgin
I
Island.
tell people every day, my job, every day I wake up, is to make dreams come true. Neville, just think about it, right?
Yeah.
You sitting down here.
Yeah, man.
You got $20 in your pocket. No, let me check. You got $100 in the pocket, right?
When my money clip, got about 26 in it.
Yeah, and you take 50 out of 100.
Yeah.
Buy a full sheet.
Yeah. Numbers register.
Look, you buy a whole sheet.
Yeah.
You probably didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
Let me take a chance.
Yeah.
You win $500,000. You know what you could do with that?
That's a life-changing experience.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
What's most important in this conversation for me is that when you play the VI lottery, everybody wins. And it's an important thing to drive home because $500,000 in your pocket, you know what you could do with that? But even if you don't win, everybody else wins.
Somebody wins.
Calvert, you could speak to it. You just come back from a travel
Yeah.
where we took several teams to Orlando.
Correct.
Lottery been huge in that. I understand from what I heard, a lot of these young men that went on that travel never been on a plane before.
Yeah, you know, I see a couple of our senators. I see the Senate President here, and I see Senator Bolquez here. I am going to send in a request to have the Department of Lottery renamed to the Department of Sponsorship, because you are absolutely correct.
I tell you, man. I tell you.
He assists including the Department of Sports, Park and Recreation. When you call Director Williams, he's always willing to assist, no matter the amount. I mean, he tries to give you something, but you know, he was a major sponsor. We just took about 90 people to Orlando. We was able to see Jawan Roberts play.
Okay.
We took them to his college game. But a lot of our children, like he said, has never been on an airplane before. So to give them that opportunity to travel outside of the territory to play basketball.
Exposure.
You know what I'm saying? Exposure.
Yeah, but to your point too, like you said earlier, people don't give me the credit. Give the customer,
who's playing,
the people of the Virgin Islands who have played the lottery.
Because when they played the lottery,
everybody wins.
wins. You know, people will be like, I've been playing this ticket, this same number for 100 years and I win. Your ticket winning every single time you play. Say popcorn man sitting over there. Ask him about it. He don't win every time.
I want to thank you for joining us, taking this drive up here. We actually getting more people involved. Barbara gonna be joining us, Living, Miss Stout gonna be joining us. Commish, anytime you need anything, you can reach out to me. You had a situation there with your agency earlier this year. I was glad to be there for you. So just let me know, and we good to see you, man. And like you said, when you play the VI lottery, everybody
wins.
And it ain't all about money.
Fungi says so.
Fungi says so. From back in the day with that. That's Mr. Raymond Williams, the director of the Virgin Islands Lottery, joining us this morning. And he and Calvert White, they are tied at the hip. They come out of the Mecca, out of Grove, the Isaac Boynes ballpark down there. We're glad that he worked his way up here. We got another a camper. My school from back in the day, we got a little distortion, but we got my schoolmate from back in the day joining me here. Calvert White, I want to introduce you, and I wanted to introduce my audience, right, to the one and only Barbara Stout. You can sign
Miss Stout?
Nice
meeting you.
That's still your last name, young lady?
Yes.
Or change?
Stout Philip now.
Stout Philip.
But I always have Stout.
That can't go that way. Welcome to Analyze This. Glad to have you on it. But you're camping up here this week?
Yes.
Talk about that experience. Pull the microphone a little closer. Get comfortable and lean back and feel nice, man. Yeah, we good.
I don't know. For some reason, this year was a lot stressful. We do have more people. I had some family came in from Florida to camp with us. My sister, my son, and his family, and a niece. So the airport run and trying to get everything together at the same time was quite hectic.
Oh.
But this is our third year.
Okay, that's good. Now, when you look around compared to the other 2 years, it's about the same or less or more?
It's more. We love the cabana.
Okay.
Yeah, we have I think it's Panji.
Okay.
So we have.
Pull the microphone closer. I tell you, relax. Lean back in that chair there and feel good, Baba. You're good. Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah.
So we have lights. We have electricity. We don't need to run a generator, stuff like that.
Wow.
So,
well, you see that's Commissioner White. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Commissioner White.
I did take a walk down and I tried to introduce myself to the people, let them know who I am, and they did let me know that one of the lights was inoperable and stuff like that. And that's part of my process of coming down here and meeting the people to find out how can I make their camping season better.
A camping experience as well.
Camping experience.
Yeah. So that's good. Barbara Stout, as somebody who has lived on St. Croix all your life, is these experiences, these events, they really value. You can't put a dollar figure.
No, you can't. Especially when your family members want to come back home just to go camping.
Wow.
It's from the airport straight to Cramer's Park, from Cramer's Park back to the airport.
Wow, that's cool. Now, the Island Green. We were lucky this winter season. We get significant rain. In the past, we've been seeing patchy brown and all that stuff.
And dust
so I feel good to look now, and I could just say green back there. No, if you're looking past me, you could see that beautiful blue water. That's gonna always be blue.
Yes.
But what we're looking at up here now, this is a lovely setting now.
It is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And my son's wife, she's from Santo Domingo.
Okay.
So she said this reminds her so much of home.
Wow.
And tomorrow we're going to do an island tour.
Okay.
So,
So you have some first-time campers with your group this year?
Yes, a couple first-time campers.
Okay.
Now Friday, saltfish tomorrow?
Yes, we having saltfish, cassava dumpling, sweet potato. In the morning for breakfast is saltfish cake, solution style. And we have a outdoor oven we made from a steel drum.
Wow.
So we'll be baking bread tomorrow morning.
Hey. No, they're really trying their best to pull me
up. Yeah. They're warming me up, We're positive. I might need a tent, Don't get a tent away yet. I might need a tent.
Oh, guys, that's something. Barbara, for the young ladies, right? One of the issues that I talk about on my show is how whenever our guests come on, what we could do to encourage our young people, right, to have a greater appreciation for St. Croix and all that stuff. And as a mother and a lifelong Crucian. Talk a little bit about our young people, our ladies, our girls, to embrace culture and what we have here and St. Croix and the Virgin Islands to continue to push that.
Yes, they need to embrace themselves and to not rely on anyone else to make them who they are.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then once you understand who you are, you could go with any flow because you are confident in yourself. If there's no power, there's no water, instead of panicking, you just think, okay, let me see if I find a cold pot, a grill, something, and prepare something for your family. It's not the end of the world, and I think a lot of the children is growing up on easy street, microwave,
Cell phone.
cell phone.
Yeah.
If it's not something they could heat up, they don't want to do it. No, it tastes better to me from a cold pot. You could eat stew good from everybody, it tastes the same, but you eat it from a cold pot, you want to know what's the special ingredients. And all it is that cold from the cold pot.
You know, interestingly enough, and I think Crucians do a great job of this as far as carrying on tradition.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As I came here, one of the first scenes that I saw was a child coming out of the tent and she started yarning. And she got a cup and she started putting the cereal in the cup and whatnot. You know, talk about, you know, I noticed there's a lot of children here camping with their family. So they're trying to continue that tradition.
Correct.
You know, when they move on, you know, those younger ones to continue this camping going. You have any younger ones with you in your group?
Yes, we have the youngest one is 10 months.
Wow.
Wow.
And it goes up 10 months. They have 2 years, 4 years, all the way up to, I think the oldest one is 16.
Okay, that's good. So you're doing an island tour tomorrow.
Yes.
But that's after you got that breakfast with all that.
We're going to have the breakfast,
Yeah.
do island tour, then we come back and we have the saltfish and
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, Dokona tomorrow.
cassava dumpling.
Cassava dumpling. That's right.
Yeah.
You did mention that.
Yeah.
Now, viNGN was here earlier, and connectivity in this
Wonderful.
in this world now. Oh, see, you don't.
Wonderful.
That encompasses everything.
We was able to play music from YouTube last night.
Hey, Daddy.
Me. Oh gosh.
I tell you, I see a TV, I see a smart TV in somebody tent.
Yes. Before I go even finish asking the question,
Wonderful.
My audience, she said wonderful. In other words, shut her mouth and just let that word encapsulate everything, which speaks to why Barbara Stout, Philip, and Calvert White, we need to encourage our young people to get educated, right? So they could actually play a role in our, continued development and growth as a territory. Because my biggest gripe is we don't like to give our own flowers when they're there. We like to wait till they're gone, and we need to start doing that more. And to me, that would serve as impetus and bring up self-esteem, Barbara.
Yes, it will. The parents need to come up, bring the kids, show them how to rough it. If you have a backyard,
hey, Calvert, I like that.
do a tree stone fire every now and then, just for the fun of it. Even if it's just to roast marshmallows, show them that there's other ways of living other than to click a stove on.
So you do it in the backyard so that when you come out in the elements here, piece of cake.
We have a lot of backyard events, especially at my mom's house.
And that's in
Sign Hill.
That's in Sign Hill.
Yeah.
That just brings back a lot of memories, As we was talking earlier, my grandmother passed last week, but I remember as a child, her washing clothes in the pan and thing like that, and then pouring it out. I don't even know if people are hang out clothes on the line anymore because everybody have dryers.
And if they get dry, they go in laundry.
Only during hurricane time.
I tell you, we're here on location up at Cramer's Park on the eastern end of the United States, right? We even got the sense incredible in the United States because the easternmost point in America is Point Udall, up the way to our left, to your right, if you're looking at us. And we're grateful to have Miss Wanda Brooks was on earlier. She's camping up here. I know we got Miss Barbara Stout, Philip, and that's what we wanted to incorporate. We didn't just want to bring the big shots like the Calvert Whites, the Rima Williams and Neville Francis coming on a little bit. We wanted to bring on, because there's eye to make this thing happen, courtesy of the work and the infrastructure that they put in here. So thank you very much, Barbara, for joining us. I appreciate that. Good to see you, man. I love you, man. Childhood friend and all that good stuff. And looking forward to talking with more good people here in Cramer's Park. Be back right after this. And Calvert White. I tell you, man, good people.
Yeah,
Man, look, the 1 year I went to Central High School, they were Barbara them looking out for me. I was a private, Safi private school child, right? And Barbara said, no, man, you going to get a little tough, you say. Bus ride and them kind of things. So it's all good. You and Betty and David and all that stuff. And you know, bringing on Miss Stout, you know, to bring back the childhood memories. You know, we are a small community, and everybody knows each other, and that's why we got to look out for each other.
It's
more
great
Calvert,
hearing from people like that, you know, say that the experience is getting better and better. You know, we asked about the internet. We didn't even get the question finished, and she was said, great, wonderful.
Wonderful, yeah, man.
Wonderful. So that's what we're talking about. Just improving and making things better every year.
And you know, 1-1, right?
Yeah.
Full basket.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with that. We're on location, like I said. We're on the eastern side of St. Croix, the easternmost point of America, up here on Cramer's Park, Point Udall, up the road. We want to thank all of you for joining us. We want to give a shout out to the WTJX family for all the work they've done. This is a piece of cake for me.
They hear from this man.
Yeah, for all that. I just they run in my mouth and they make me look good, so I want to definitely give them a shout out. Definitely want to give a shout out to Sports Park and Recreation under the leadership of Calvert White, son of 6 or 1, half a dozen, another Maltine, Celestino White Sr., all that good stuff. Want to give a shout out to viNGN, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they do their thing, and they literally, you heard it from Mr. Keithly Heath when he sat there, right? When I hear her coming up here, I don't listen to analysis every morning. I quote it, right? Verbatim, right? You say, I listen every morning, we gonna make this thing work. And it ain't just benefiting us here at WTJX Analyze This. You heard Miss Stout, right? Wonderful. That's the term, so we want to give.
And they say they're leaving it. They moving it after coming here. They're leaving it. So I have the recording.
We got them on videotape. So Analyze This making a contribution. You know what I'm saying? So it really is a team thing. You mentioned Commissioner Gabriel, Public Works. Great relationship you have with our
great relationship. That's my partner.
And that makes sense. And of course, we name what teasing you. Remember Williams said, tall and short. Two are you in a cabinet meeting? I had a big cracking joke.
Yeah, opposite end of the spectrum. But you know, I always mess with him.
Yeah.
You know, Mousy was my boy.
Yeah.
Mousy was my boy. When Mousy passed, that was hard for me. That's a person kind of I used to probably associate more. And since his passing, it has probably been DPW. But I rely on them a lot. I am not ashamed to call another department and beg for help.
No, don't do it. Don't ever be ashamed to do that, because that's why I do that.
And I do that often. So
it's all good, you know. And we heading back. We're back here live on WTJX Analyze This, OL2 on location 2 at Cramer's Park. You know what I'm saying? I use that Bronx enunciation, the Cramer's Park. But we just say Cramer's Park.
For camping.
For camping, KYAA. MPIN. You got no G in it. You got apostrophe after the N. And we joined now by the one and only Positive T. And they'll say, yo, no introduction necessary. Yo, my brother, good to see you. What's going on, man?
Good morning. I'm there, man. Good morning, gentlemen. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you've been telling me about this camping. I've seen it now live and direct, man.
Yeah, man. It's a good feeling, you know. To just wake up in nature, and people are different when they wake up out in nature.
Out in the elements.
Yeah, it's like almost like being in. I was telling the commissioner earlier. It's almost like the after hurricane effect without having the effect of the hurricane. You know, when people come together after hurricane, but you know it's only because of need. But out here it's like, yo,
Commish, he got lines, man.
Huh?
He kind of confused me just now. I was trying to put it together. But you know that's how positive he is.
They call it bars.
Bars.
It's all good. How you doing? How you feeling? Everything
I'm doing
good?
well, man. You know, life experiences can harden us. You know, so I'm trying to not get hardened by it and grow through it. You know, grow through life.
Now you do something July 3rd. Now, that's your day. You literally you do a fort to fort walk on July 3rd, right? And it starts up in these parts up here?
No.
Not
downtown. But what I do up here is the Unity Retreat Camp.
The Unity Retreat
Camp.
Yeah,
so this makes we've been doing it this year. Makes 24. Well, we was interrupted by COVID and the hurricane, so it's 21 years. We actually started in 1997, 2 years at Salt River, and then we switched up here. That's the parents would come and most people don't know that I have a non-profit, Positive Works Inc. That's my youth-based organization, and we've been bringing children up here from since then and up until this is our first return since COVID, since the renovations and what's going on here. So we're grateful, but it's a wonderful time. It's a headache, because you got to watch these children 24/7. They can't swim like they want to. They got to swim during my time when I tell them to go swim.
But that discipline is good for them.
Well, see, like you heard the lady talking, so I teach martial arts. Most people don't know.
I was just going to ask you, you're still doing the Kung Fu thing, man?
So it's Taekwondo.
Yo, I'm old.
It don't matter. Yeah, I got you.
For those of you who don't know, right, David Carradine was God for us. I think it was every Thursday night, Glen, right? Every Thursday night, right? Kung Fu, right? And his master used to say, patience, grasshopper. You know what I'm saying?
I heard you were like a triple black belt or something like that.
I'm a 6-degree black belt.
6 degree.
It's been 34 years doing this thing, So it's not anything I boast about, but because it's a discipline for me, because that's what stopped me from popping off, family doing some Kung Fu in the legislature.
I'm only a leather. I'm a leather black belt.
Yeah, that's what stopped me from
leather black belt.
So basically, he's a certified weapon, so that's why you were taking it easy on us.
What you learn in martial arts is that the true enemy is always yourself, being in control of yourself, not letting your beastly nature, your animal natural nature react. Instead of you run into your intellect and you respond.
Chubb Rock said that we got 2 vectors in the brain. One is full of love, and one is very violent. That's why you need that.
I won't put it in love and violence, but we got to know that the God self lives within man, and our human self is what it is: emotions, feelings. But then our intellect, that's when we process and we put it. Our Christ over our emotions is the intellect.
Your martial arts training help you out, and when you're up here in this setting, it gives you that ability to actually sit and just digest and block things out, compartment. I think is the right word.
Martial arts is probably what helped me out in everything I do, in the legislature, my work, organizing things, being a lot of things going on, but still being able to prioritize them, because in martial arts they say there's a concept where you say, you might be fighting a lot of people, but you're still only fighting one at a time. So the one that's closest to you, you take care of that one, and then boom, the next one that comes closest to you, get it. So it's the same thing you deal with situations and circumstances. And that part of the program is to do that, pull children away from the norms, pull them out here in the outback. I mean, the internet service now is a good and a bad. It's a good and a bad commissioner.
So along that line, I was telling the co-host earlier that while I was traveling here, I was going through Facebook, and I heard your voice on Facebook, but I thought it was a recording because I know what this internet service used to be like at Cramer's Park, but then when I looked at it, it was alive.
Yeah, man.
Talk about your experience with the internet and how that's working out.
So I do this thing every morning about between 6:30 and 8 called the Grow Room. It's an inspirational, motivational thing.
So you were live and direct.
So so this morning, instead of usually I'm at Serenity's Nest Choice, because some place further east. I mean further west, but we were up here, and I said, man, I up here, I don't want to have to go down to do that. And I said, oh, heck, Commissioner said this. And last night I checked it, and I said, let me...
Oh, so you would head down the road to do the morning gig?
I never did it from up here.
That's what I'm asking.
So my plan was to go down the road someplace to
So the infrastructure was beneficial?
Man, last night I said, well, he tell me viNGN, let me see. I don't call him for the password already, but it's a free thing. So when I link up and boom, and I said, why, walking? So that's why I was able to do my Bluetooth to my... you probably missed it when you came up. I had my Zen music playing and getting in my vibe. Yes, I was like, what this thing was? I appreciate it.
So you're welcome.
Thank viNGN, thank Sports Parks and Rec. This is the kind of infrastructure that makes it better.
And thank in this case, also thank Analyze This, because it was us coming
and
here.
And thank you for Analyze This. Well, I could thank you anyway, Neville, because again, your dialogue, your approach to a conversation,
whole different
it's more thoughtful, and that's what I tell people. We were on different side of the bargain, but he had to respect me, because when it comes to real conversation, debate and things, wasn't no blah blah. He used to have to look out for the rest of his side. When I eating them up, he used to have to eat it because you give me real talk.
Yo, check this out. This will be there. Yo, I got him.
But I appreciate you bringing, because when we have the dialogue at this level in the public, it helps people to understand what's really going on.
I'm glad you went there, because I want to say this, right? And Calvert, you can relate to this. Your dad signed up for 22 years, right? 14, 12. So you do that math there, blah, blah, blah. It's 48 years between us. And we got signed up, all kids, Senator Francis here. We get beat up, right? Being in the public arena. And it comes with the territory, right? But one of the issues that all of us have, and I could speak for all of us now, is folks get on the radio and they're talking about what they hear, but what not necessarily what is factual and what they know. And that's the reason why the approach we take with Analyze This is we ain't into that. You could get at the other station where they like rah-rah. But as someone who complained about it, that would be hypocritical for me to do the same thing, hosting a radio show. That's the reason why I'm glad we're on NPR. Our thing is narrow. It's informational and educational more so than anything else. And it's necessary for the Virgin Islands.
Objective, not subjective.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's not like, my man's on the floor.
You know, earlier on you asked about, how the cabinet is doing and how we get along and whatnot. And I say to people, I get along with everybody. But there's some people that you kind of connect more with. And Positive have always been one of those people. A lot of people don't know this, but and we didn't make it happen this year. But he reached out to me before the campaign season and he said, Commissioner, man, I want to do something big this year. I want to get some kind of stage up there where we could have music every night and a different person and whatnot. And we seriously talk about it. We wasn't able to make it happen, but we are going to really work on that next year because this is like a little community.
It is.
It's a little community. So if we could have a stage set up where we have different artists every night, it's just furthering that experience for camping season.
Positive, talk a little bit. Let the public know. We there in the morning setting now. We're going to take place in the late morning, afternoon. People go down the road to go get stuff and come back.
People like just ahead of this. So today is still a work day for some folks.
Oh, that's
right.
That's correct.
So people are going to come out later on this between this afternoon and if it's going to get crowded up here, it's going to be. It could be
around.
It could be crowded between this afternoon and tomorrow morning.
Okay, cool.
For me, my intake process happened today between 10 and 6. I expect children to come. In the morning, we start our programming, and there's things that happen for us who have like a group children nowadays. You have to keep them active. Wake up at 6 and do different things all throughout the day. So some people more come and settle in, get themselves set up. Play them by night time, by 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Who here? Music on, grills going, people doing what they do.
It's really a collective community family type setting.
Yeah, and people respect each other's space. Like even if I wasn't set up yet, there's some folks I would say, hey, don't go to that spot. Commission had me on target this year. I had to pay this year. That's a good thing. Let me tell you, right? I bought, right? This is my first year now. This year's paid. But I understand paying for the infrastructure, and that's what people have to understand.
A little thing.
But people respect each other's space. Hey, that's Positive space. Don't go there. Hey, that's such and such space. And no, we don't own it.
You know what's funny about that? When you just talk about paying, Alicia Chucky Hansen came to mind because she was a big camper.
I was thinking about that. I didn't want to say anything. No, but that's what I'm missing this year too, by the way.
That's my good friend Chucky, and my dad is really good friends. So I know. But Chucky would be one
11 more times like your father.
Yeah, she would be one of the first person to call the department. And not asking, demanding where she wanted to go. And she used to say, oh yeah, by the way, Commissioner, I ain't paying.
That's who used to call me. Positive, I ain't paying you. You ain't paying you. Senator, what's wrong with them? But and Gloria Canagator Waterman used to be up here as well. So I like when people can put aside their labels, their titles, and just be. I think we get caught up in that.
viNGN, we talked about that earlier. We had them on with the drops and all that stuff. But we're in an era of technological advancement. You check what I'm saying? And things that we buy today become obsolete tomorrow.
Yeah.
You check what I'm saying? So that's another thing as a former senator, educator, commissioner, agriculture. Growth and development is constant positive.
If you ain't growing, you're dying.
Yeah, man.
And anybody who feels like they know it all, they got it all, they can't learn nothing, you start dying already. So you got to continue to maintain your curiosity. They say your inner child. Like we can't get too serious that you can't smile or laugh or be silly.
Correct.
I think where I am now, Neville, to be honest, I'm like in a different space in my mind because we can't depend on our own wealth or intellect. Not that I have it, but we got to depend on something more. So I really trying to hold on to that because I feel the pressure everybody else. They feel like you could just lose your mind at any time. Like you could just pop, lose your cool.
I wanted to know something.
Anxiety, fear, and doubt is in this world.
Too young boy to know, right?
Yeah, you got us by a few years, well.
Partner makes 60.
What? Congratulations.
I might not look like it now because I rocked it a little something and all that, right? But I made 60 earlier this month, and I really look forward to that one day. Not because of an event, but life is so precious, right? And you gotta be grateful. And when you're in a setting, an external setting like this, out here in the elements, B, what more you come? We just got a little freshening breeze there just now to let you know. Even though the heat coming down, we could deal with the heat.
They ain't running me. I ain't going nowhere.
No, sir. No. We had a band back in the day. Shot is that's a classic. No, I talking about a local band from out of Williams. They say Afu Wheeland. Right? This is ours, man, and we got to protect it. And we got to do what we got to do. All the different agencies that we mentioned earlier.
Speak good about it. We need to stop this thinking and talking bad about our community and every. I mean, there's some people so cynical. Anything that come up.
But that's an educational thing, you know.
Yeah, but we gotta first start within ourselves and cut it out. Cut it out because we like words are like curse or blessings.
Look like
we could either cuss ourselves or bless ourselves.
As soon as we start to talk like that nice freshening breeze come again,
God is in everything. You know, so we just gotta train ourselves to do that, to think positive, talk positive. I mean, things ain't perfect, we get it, but I wouldn't prefer to be any place else.
And Kamesh, I was talking to you, that interagency relationship you got, your sports park and recreation. See water, you said 50 feet in that direction, gone to DPNR. You said DPW up the road with Point Udall. I mean, if the public had a better understanding of department roles, I think that would actually benefit the entire territory.
Well, the public have a role also. You know, I tell people all the time, this is not Calvert White facility. This belongs to the community. We just manage it and oversee it and get it back out to the community. But they have a real important part to play in this area. You know, one of our biggest push when we open back the facility is, you know, just take your trash. Don't leave the facility in a dismay because you feel there's an agency here to take care of it. This is your facility also. So
we always tell them that.
You know, we're going to continue to do that and you know, hopefully we'll touch people.
And of course, I think some of his father's traits work for him because what he used to call Celestino in the legislature, they're not the glue, something.
The lubricant.
The lubricant. Yeah.
Another name. Another name.
Yeah, he was good at getting everything to work together.
Yeah. 6 or 1/2 a dozen. It goes on and positive. You know, we had our window back, so looking forward, what do you want for the territory?
Man, I just want to be able to just live in the Virgin Islands, grow old in the Virgin Islands, live a life. I have 4 grandchildren now, and I want them
Congratulations,
to be able to,
my brother.
One Ghana for health reasons right now. Yeah, I want them to be able to. I don't want to have to go nowhere. I don't want to die nowhere else for no reason. You know, so I want us to just take care of our place so that we could take care of our people as much as we can. We get it, we're limitations, we get it, we're on islands, but the Virgin Islands is in a good situation, man. We're like America in the Caribbean, so I love that I like the fact that we have preserved our...
But we haven't maxed that.
No, we haven't at all. But
and Commissioner spoke about that. You know, he was talking about when people travel, like when they come from the mainland, right? Ain't got no immigration involved with coming here.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I said on my show, one lick kill dick.
It's so much we can capitalize on being part of America in the Caribbean, and it's just time to really capitalize it. And truly, like viNGN, do you know it's because of us that South America have internet?
I mean, what to say because we try to tell the public all they want to do is, are you into this, are you into that? But then when you might have a family member in Venezuela or Colombia, it's because of something that we did back in 2011 and 2012. Governor DeYoung, me and you and I have no great relationship with him, but we gonna give credit.
Let bygones be bygones. Come on, you have to go here.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. I said we didn't, but I'm giving him props now. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing, right? Because of him, he was governor at the time, and viNGN is a reality today, and that happened then. So that's what we do. We mature. Remember now, when we first went in, it was St. Croix not getting attention and what. Now, as we transition, we in a Virgin Islands state of mind because it's a territory, and that's how it's supposed to be.
And the truth of the matter is this: the good man is not all good, the bad man is not all bad.
Correct.
See, I'm learning that's growing himself alone. Alone. Yeah, but so you know the idea that we fall in some, and it's unfortunately talk radio has become nasty. That's why like analysis is good. It has become way just subjective. We are they attack an issue and attack a person. It's almost like that DNR argument in America. The average American don't care who helped them put food on the table.
No,
I don't care if it's a DRST, whatever the hell it is.
That's why you're seeing the middle.
Right, because it's more gray.
And that actually happened in the Virgin Islands before anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to self-governance, and we got 30 seconds left in this segment, we didn't have a Democratic governor until 17 years into self-governance. And we had a Republican early on, but we got our local party, ICM, all that stuff. Why? Because the people down here have always been, we gonna do what we want to do when we want to do it. And we have always been leaders. St. John Rebellion coming up. I know that's a big thing we're gonna talk about down the road positive. They're coming soon. I want to thank you for joining me in this segment. Have fun like you always do up here. And looking forward to communicating with you on another front that you and I are going to speak about down the road. We're on location here up at Cramer's Park on the eastern end of St. Croix, OL2. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You got it, man. And glad that you made some time to hang out here. You've been here from the start, so we want to give you props for that as well. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, man. So
I'm going to talk about my BI flag. Let me tell you, I don't care what I say about
don't worry about it. People can say that. That's
like,
I don't care what
and
it's streaming.
It speaks for itself. You know
I don't care what I say about the eagle, right? Whether Navy, as long as they represent the VI,
That's
they
all that
represent me.
matters. That's
and
all
we
that
represent
matters.
it. The people that talk all the junk.
Good.
Thanks for being here, my brother.
I'll
Appreciate
take it,
that.
boss, man.
Always good. You know what I'm saying? Calvert, that was your fellow cabinet member,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You did a nice stint there for 4 years. And like I said, you mentioned it actually. That synergy with all the agencies is critical.
I have to reach out to agriculture on many occasions, whether it's to use heavy equipment, get tents for different events, and vice versa. They've done the same.
And the biggest economic event in the territory is the Ag Fair.
The
you
Ag
know what
Fair.
I'm saying? And he had stewardship over that for 4 fairs. Of course, a couple of them were on the mind because of the pandemic and all that stuff. You know, quickly before we bring in Senator Francis, the Senate President, and the acting Lieutenant Governor, by the way, right? How COVID impact your agency? Because we started the show actually in the heart of COVID in 2020. You were out in the elements, so it didn't affect you, and if it did, to what extent?
Great question. You want to know the interesting thing? I think after COVID, people realize how important this department was.
Yes, sir.
I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. This department have kind of been, I don't want to say the black sheep, but under the radar as far as importance with other departments.
Stepchild.
The stepchild.
Yeah.
And I think once COVID hit and people realized that we was locked in and we couldn't be active and whatnot, that's when the department started to shine, because then we started to do programs to get people back out and involved, and you know, we took a bad situation and turned it into a good situation for the department.
And you also had a bubble, right? Did a bubble thing with UVI?
That was a great experience. We wanted to give our children an experience, although there was COVID.
I put some tapes out there for those who may be eligible for scholarships and all that stuff.
And what we did was we locked them into UVI for, I think it was 2 weeks, and we had recordings and coaches, and I think out of that combine, I think at least 4 or 5 people got scholarships to go with the school.
Joanne might have been a part of that, right?
Who was?
Joanne Roberts?
No, Joanne wasn't.
He was afterwards?
Joanne was after, but it was mostly some volleyball and some basketball people that got opportunities.
Okay, good. And of course, you know that UVA is now the Eldridge Blake, right?
Yeah,
Athletic Center. And it,
shout out to the new athletic director, man.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Karen Carty, she's doing an excellent job. She's involved in the community, and she's starting to change the outlook of that athletic program.
Yeah.
Local, by the way, she's from the island of St. Croix.
That's what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good here up at Cramer's Park on location 2OL2. My co-host, I want to give him his thanks. I give his thanks right now. Yo, I'm even waiting until
I'm trying to get extension with the boss.
Yeah, we gonna walk on that
I need
contract.
to work on my contract and everything.
So check this out. I want everybody to listen to me, right? When I used to go to school in New York, I went to State University of New York for 2 years. I used to wear a certain type of hat that the next guest wearing now. And my nickname was Harry, right? This is your Harry hat, right? This is your Harry, what's up, right? No, I was an island boy, and they called me this Yankee named Harry hat. Well, the new Harry hat is here. You know what I'm saying? Senator Neville Francis.
Good morning, Neville. Good morning, Calvert.
How you doing, Senator?
Right.
Yo, what's up, man?
So back in my days, when I went to John Jay, it was John Jay College. It was a Cooney. Cooney back then.
And you know, we actually got a Cooney president here, Tony Monroe.
Correct.
Right, and he was actually supposed to be on today, but this thing came together. Well, he and I spoke last night. We're gonna knock that out in April. You know what I'm saying? So I want to apologize to you, my brother, but I'm thank you for your understanding. Excuse me, Mr. President / acting Lieutenant Governor. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here this morning. You know, I was here days ago it might have been when we actually had the ribbon cutting here at Cramer's Park.
So wait, I had multiple ribbon cuttings within last week at The library had a ribbon cutting.
That's all we've been doing lately. It's ribbon cutting. I mean, a lot of things are really falling in place, and we've seen a lot of ribbon cutting. But certainly, I had the opportunity to be here with Calvert White, the governor, and others, where we cut the ribbon here. And this is nostalgic for me, man. You know, I spent many Sundays here at Cramer's Park back in the days in the 70s.
And I was saying earlier, the drive was a part of the deal. It wasn't just getting here. It was driving through East End, passing through Roebuckville, right? In Solitude and Coakley Bay, and then coming over by the yacht club. And then, Calvert, I don't know if you know this. You know, when you get to the yacht club, right? If you look on the right-hand side, we used to have a university right there, man. Fairleigh Dickinson University. We had a marine biology lab.
Wasn't
right? Yes, but that's part of the regression that we try to kick to the side. But the reality is we've always had potential, Mr. President.
Yeah, that was, Fairleigh Dickinson University was a little subset of Teaneck, New Jersey, where Fairleigh Dickinson was.
The main campus.
The main campus, correct,
Yeah, and they also had something by Salt River, right?
Yeah,
that's another as well. So, Mr. President, talk about when you reach out to a commissioner. And because one of the job requirements for a senator is making referrals on behalf of your constituents, right? And you are called on, we were called on for a particular agency to look at a particular area. Talk about that relationship that you have as a branch leader talking to an agency head.
Well, I'll tell you that I first of all want to commend the work that's being done by Sports Park and Recreation, and of course under the leadership of Commissioner White. I regularly dialogue with Commissioner White. I call upon him a lot of times. I mean, my neighborhood back in Estate Glen, I call on him to assist with some of the facilities there, and he's always available.
That facility, Mambiju,
not the one in the front, the one down
in the back, the Frangipani area.
The Frangipani, and adjacent to Glen that he's talking about. That's you, right?
Yes,
that
is us.
Okay.
Also, we talk about profit. We're talking about putting a shed over the basketball court there. An initiative that we wanted to start and hopefully spread throughout.
You going to pavilion that?
You pavilion that? Yes. Create a shelter there. And we already provided the seed money to make that happen. But I talk to him quite often. I mean, a lot of times I even tap into him for the purpose of supporting Calypso Inc. and some of the other local youth groups in our community. So he's always available. He always takes my call, and we could rely on him to do the follow through. I heard on my way up here he talk about the pool, the Vincent Mason pool, and we're really looking forward to that happening. I mean, we cut we had the groundbreaking ceremony there sometime back, and we certainly ran into some issues there with the pylons and everything there, but we're looking forward to the Vincent Pool being reopened. I get regular monthly updates on the Polly Joseph Stadium. There, I think that when we look at also we spoke about the resurfacing of the Princess basketball court there. Again, this guy always delivers when you call upon him. So I'm happy to be here today and in the company of the great Calvert White and even the great Neville James.
It's interesting because a lot of the times people, when they are referring, instead of saying Commissioner, they say Senator White, which you did earlier.
I did it earlier. You know what I'm saying?
You spoke about my dad being a senator for 22 years, but by default, I felt like I also was a senator for 22 years because I had to be at the legislature because he was working. He was working there.
Yeah. But now let me ask you: how do you go about responding to a senator when they're reaching out to you from that referral relationship?
So people think the legislative branch and the executive branch is always at war.
Yeah.
I depend on these guys because they appropriate funds. But
stop right there. Could you please repeat that for the audience so they understand who really calling the initial shot?
Yeah, the checks and balance coming from the legislature. When I need that money, is coming from the legislature.
There we go.
And I will say that to my tenure as a commissioner, the entire body has been very, very appreciative because usually when I ask for something. They try to assist and help. But very early on in 2016 or 2019 when I took this position, former Senator Donald Dux Cole gave me a call, also a good friend of my dad and somebody that I raised up with. He said, Commissioner, whatever you do, return people calls.
Yes.
And that always stuck with me. And one of the last things I do before I call it at night is I would go through and see all the missed calls that I had because I probably couldn't answer my phone. And I try to return those calls that day. So
Malik Shakur was on my show on Tuesday, that's the same thing. He said, one thing we want from senators.
Yeah.
When people call, we turn the call. Because, you know, governors got security and all that stuff. Senators, people look at us as peers.
And not just senators, but the community also. I can't tell you the amount of people that call my phone, and when I call them back, they say, Commissioner, I didn't think you were going to call back in. I didn't expect you to call back.
That'll make you feel good.
Yeah.
That'll make you feel good. And we appreciate that. Commish, Senator Bolkes is the chair of the Parks and Recreation Committee?
Yes, he is. And I want to also recognize his presence here on location this morning.
Yeah, man,
you know, certainly Senator Angel Bolkes Jr., at-large senator out of St. John. He's on location. And he knows it's at this weekend, right?
Yeah, man,
he definitely got to be at the camping on St. Croix.
I'm glad to see him because we had heard, you know, he had an incident. But, so I'm glad that he's here in the flesh. So I definitely want to give a shout out to him. Ventura, what's going on? Good to see you. You know what I mean? All that good stuff as we go forward.
So Neville, I just wanted to, because, you know, I'm always in that safety mode, right?
Yeah.
And when I came,
that's one of the things when you and I had spoken, right? And I said, you know, we're doing the on-location thing to you. We're grateful that you made an appearance over there at Delhi Deck. But you come from a law enforcement background.
Correct.
And what we're dealing with here now, and I asked him, he and I were speaking about the importance of VIPD, and one of the reasons why Calvert was on, because I want him to give a feel for that interagency thing. But from a law enforcement background, and you've been through this at all levels, why is VIPD ultra important in a setting like this?
Well, of course, they're needed in a setting like this, and then they're needed in a setting in the community, because a lot of times you see individuals pack up their entire family and come to Cramer's Park, which means that their home and everything else is wide open.
Correct.
You know, so we're equally mindful of that. But you know, you want to make sure that you have a security presence here to ward off any type of situation that may occur here. I mean, you have people from all fractions of the community coming together here at this facility, and you just want it to be a safe environment, and not only on the land but also at sea. So you want to make sure that you have your lifeguards and those individuals to be out there. And I was searching my mind about the lifeguard that used to be back in the 70s, and I could only remember Cheo. I don't know if you remember anyone else, but you remember Cheo being here, you know, but lifeguards are equally important when you Harman Haywood and those individuals. Philco, that's right. You know what I mean? I know you were going to drive. Yeah, but the safety is extremely important. I think
trio.
And even having an EMS representative here, I think is equally important. You could have any situation here. We have an aging community, and you know, just having someone on site. You know, so that is something I'll be looking for as well, or encouraging that we at least have a EMS under VIFMs, that we at least have EMS presence here at the facility. And of course, even if the fire department could be here as well, because we know that they're right down the street. But you know, you're talking about camping here, you're talking about open flames and those type of things. So you know, when you talk about security, I know that the commissioner spoke about the littering and being able to clean up behind of you, and that is so important. We want to keep this facility pristine.
That's just good etiquette, though.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do something unique here right now. I want to ask for each of you to give some props to the WTJX team, because I know we're closing down on this event, about how comfortable and how easy this gig has been, because time flies by. When we got here, you know what I'm saying, with 2+ hours ago, and because of all the work that they've done, they really make this an easy gig today, Calvert.
Yeah, well, I'll start. I mean, you know, the boss reached out, Tanya reached out, and she said, you know, Commissioner, I need you to co-host the show with Neville. And I say, Holy Thursday, I didn't know if I want to travel. I don't get too much days off. But, you know, the WTJX family has always been good to the department. You know, anytime we need to get any information out, I'm a regular on the show.
Yeah, man.
You know, and a lot of times I call last minute and say, you know, there's information I need to get out to the public. But it was surprising that when I came around the corner, because, you know, the director told me to be here for 7:30. I think I got here like 7 o'clock. And I saw about 10 employees here, and they didn't look sleepy like me, which means they've been here a while. But it just shows the dedication that they have for what they do, and I'm very appreciative for them for that.
And Mr. President, you've been dealing with TJX for years, you know what I'm saying? And they're so good that they laid back over there. I watching them over there, and they just chill. Yo, You do a good job. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yes.
You really make this gig easy. All you up there and all that good stuff.
It's before the center go, sorry center, but people see the feed and they see us on it.
The hard work.
But they don't see the people in behind the scene. And that's why I kind of, equate my team to that, because they see the work that's being done, but they don't see the individuals that's actually doing the work. To make something like this happen, there are people behind the scenes that have to do that.
Commissioner.
And it's an awesome production, as you can see.
Mr. Lieutenant Governor.
It's an awesome production, as you see. I mean, it's all well and good that you come up with the idea that you want to be on location, and then you have to get the engineers and everyone else to be able to make that happen. You make sure that you're having the correct feed in place and the technology is working in your favor. So again, kudos to WTJX, and the legislature is always a partner when it comes to WTJX. We have a soft spot for WTJX. And Analyze This. I mean, we want to thank you as the host of Analyze This, and again, bringing positivity.
Thank the boss, man.
We engage in so much negativity and pessimism in our community that we look forward to Analyze This, that again, talk about the objectivity of what we have in this community and the progress that's being made.
Well, I like the fact that you said, I was listening to it on the radio coming up. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I was by Pueblo last night, and apparently there was a problem there with Vitran, and two of my, I guess, audience members were there, and I said, we go, man, I'm going to take out your dunk and drop them down in Gallows Bench. He said, tomorrow that's the Cramer's pocket, so I'm going to be listening. I was like, man, wow, that's the validation that you need. You know what I'm saying? Because you need inspiration from time to time as human beings.
Radio is so important. Again, very early on in my career as commissioner, I would listen to the radio every day, and I would go from station to station because you want to hear what the people are talking about.
You want to get a pulse.
And a lot of the times the information was just so false and wrong that my dad still tried to give me, advice and whatnot. I said, turn it off. Turn it off. Don't listen to it. So I've cut back from the radio.
But we're human beings, Mr. President, Lieutenant Governor, and Commissioner. And sometimes you need inspirational. You need to hear inspirational rhetoric. Everything people say, well, it's constructive criticism. That could wear you down.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful.
And it's a good getaway from it, right? You get a long drive into Cramer's Park and just kind of relax and let your hair down. So
I just want to say we're closing up the gig. We're inside at 2 minutes. On location 2 was what's the word here? I want to find the right adjective. Right. The success is the last word, but we need an adjective to this. Unqualified. You know what I'm saying? It was a dominant success. Want to thank viNGN, Mr. President, Lieutenant Governor.
Yes.
They did a big job here, and they're going to be here permanent, right? We got permanent infrastructure now working with you. And what was the word that Barbara Stout said when we talked about the internet? She used one word. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
She said, it's wonderful. So, hey, Mr. Heath, you do a great job, man, and we got that validation from the campus and all that stuff. It was an honor. We got to do this again, man.
You got to tell Mr. Heath, we have 20-something other facilities that need this kind of service. So I put name on the spot. We need internet in all the public facilities.
Share some cell phone numbers.
He listening?
No, but you're here with him now, so share some cell phone numbers so he could get to him.
To be honest with you, they have already started that process in the bar fees, putting internet. We have had some communication from people that traverse there and saying, it's a little slow. So hopefully we have it upgraded.
And that's a commitment from the governor as well, where he wanted to make sure that we have internet connectivity throughout the entire Virgin Islands. Any location that you go, you should be able to have access.
Mr. President / Acting Lieutenant Governor, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for putting a bow tie on this.
You're welcome.
Awesome experience.
I have a leave slip for the Lieutenant Governor.
Without a doubt. And we want to thank the audience for supporting us. My niece, Sydney Powell, said, looking forward to the show this morning. I said, me too, good looking out. So thanks for that. RT Park, of course, you're in the technology business as well. Definitely got to give you a shout out in your support of, and you got a relationship with viNGN, by the way, and WTJX. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Tanya Singh, Marisol, Freeze, all of you, love all you, you know what I'm saying? And on location 3, come in, be good and be safe. Enjoy the Easter weekend. Bye-bye.